In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Mind Pump MAPS Anabolic program. If you're new here, my name is Emma. I talk all things health and wellness for the 40 plus woman, doing product reviews as well as tips, tricks and tools to help you feel better in your body. So if you're into that kind of thing, do hit on the subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a part of the regular crew. I did the MAPS Anabolic program. I paid for it with my own money. This is not sponsored. It is a program that I was intrigued to learn a little more about because I love these guys. I listen to their podcast. It is a really invaluable resource for not only coaches but also people who are interested in health and fitness and want to improve their body composition or performance. I bought this as part of the Fabulous 40s bundle, so I did have that whole package of programs, but I'm going to be talking more specifically about the MAPS Anabolic because that is the main thing that I followed within this. The Fabulous at 40 program does actually include MAPS Anabolic, MAPS Prime, which is their mobility warm-up and body functionality assessment program. It includes MAPS Anywhere and also their intuitive eating guide. So that does come as a bundle. I also got it on a promo. So the original price for it is $220, but I did get it when it was 50% off. Paid $110 of my own money to test it out and see if it is as good as the guys make it out to be and worth you investing your money into it. If you are looking to get in shape, to improve muscle definition and what we like women like to call tone, then you've probably heard that you need to be strength training. Look, I am a woman who is over the age of 40. I am also challenged with PCOS. I'm a health coach, but I'm also not in the most amazing shape. I definitely do not have a six-pack. And as people on this app like to continue to tell me that I don't look in amazing shape, there is way more to health and fitness than just the way your body looks. There's a genetics to pay into it, hormonal balance, and unless you're a woman, you probably aren't going to understand the challenges that come with maintaining your body shape when you have hormonal fluctuations, as well as a busy life, as well as kids, as well as stress. Life happens. I'm here for an audience of women who want to feel better in their bodies, to find out the best health practices that can help them do that without having to go into toxic dieting practices in the process. Because the truth is, once we get over the age of 40, it does become more difficult, but there is still a lot that you can do about it, and having more muscle on your body is one of those. And I know that some women shy away from not wanting to look big or bulky, but when you say that you want tone on your body, all tone is the definition of muscle underneath the skin. And then to get that more definition, you need to work on your nutrition to reduce body fat, and that is how you start to look more toned. So I will be forever beating the drum for women over the age of 40 that you should be having some form of strength or resistance training in your program. It's going to help maintain your metabolism. It's going to help you to maintain your body composition, so how your body looks. It's going to support your metabolism as well as keeping your bones strong and healthy and keeping you fit for life. And that is the main thing about what I want to help women with. It is about longevity, being able to be fit for function, meaning that you are fit for real life. When you get the MAPS Anabolic program, it has a really great interface. Like, it's pretty standard when it comes to some sort of online portal that you're going to have drop down menus to video explanations of going through everything. There is video instruction for each and every exercise that you're expected to do within the program. The program itself comes within 4 different phases. There's the pre-phase, which is weeks 1-3, which is all about laying the foundations for strength. And this is particularly good for those who are new to lifting and new to strength training. Phase 1 is weeks 4-6. Now, this particularly looks at strength training. So when we're looking at strength training versus muscle building, there's going to be different rep ranges. So when we're looking at pure strength, we are then working on smaller rep ranges, usually between 1 and 6 reps, and we are lifting heavier weights. That is how the body's going to get stronger. We then move on to phase number 2, which is all about muscle fiber, as they call it. And this is building on the strength that we've built on phase 1. And then the third and final phase, which is weeks 10 to 12, which they call muscle pump. So this is about, when I got into this phase, it was about maintaining the weights that I'd started to lift, but now adding more reps onto it. So you're really going to feel the pump in the muscle during this phase. The workouts range, depending on what phase you are, between 2 full body sessions with then what they call trigger sessions in between. So the full body sessions, they say that they should take between 45 minutes to an hour. But what I found, if you are using the recommended rest times and intervals, then I was finding it was taking definitely up to an hour. Sometimes my longest one was like an hour and 20 minutes. Although they are a little bit longer, in the first 3 phases, there's only 2 workouts per week. I was then adding in an additional more metabolic conditioning because I'm also a fitness coach. I'm teaching fitness throughout doing this program myself, but I did really focus on those 2 lifting days, and they are full body lifting days. The trigger sessions are about helping to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So generally just keeping the muscles pumping a little bit in between the main workouts. You pick a couple of exercises, and they're either body weight or with resistance bands, lighter resistance, and doing higher reps, so you're just keeping the body moving. And they recommend no more than 10 minutes, but to do those 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I'll fully admit I didn't really do those because in between my own training sessions, I'm training other people. I'm demonstrating exercises, so I'm getting some muscle movement in between sessions. So I didn't apply the trigger sessions. And people always come on at me like, oh, you didn't follow the plan completely. How can you give it a review? Any solid fitness plan should have some level of flexibility allowed into it, depending on who you are. As a health coach, I know that I am still moving my body in other ways around the sessions. For me, it was really about doing the solid strength sessions that are programmed into this. Each of these phases is very carefully designed so that you are building from one phase to the next, so that you get that continual progression and avoid plateaus. And what is really smart within the programming on this, that they're not just doing the same moves, you're utilizing different exercises so that you are working different phases of the muscle contraction. So where sometimes you are contracting or having the hardest part of the movement when the muscle is in elongated position, as well as in a fully contracted position in other movements. This means that the muscle fiber is getting the most of the strength gains on the full length of the muscle. So it's really, really smart programming. And there is absolutely no doubt that in my mind that these guys know their stuff. As you would expect, all of the major lifts are in there. So you've got squats, you've got deadlifts, you've got bench press, rows, shoulder presses. And what I really like is that it's simplistic. It is just about doing these moves, being consistent, repeating those moves over time so that the muscle can start to adapt and build and really get that strength gain without having to overcomplicate the exercises. I thought that the online portal was pretty easy to navigate. I feel like sometimes, I know when I'm doing my own program, I'll sometimes put a video in, but then I like to have it in text as well. I'm a reader. I like to read things, and I sometimes got a little bit frustrated with having to watch all of the videos through, especially as a health coach. I kind of just wanted to skim things to make sure I had a base understanding. And I think just for online programs, I think there are different type of learners. Some people are more visual and love to watch videos, and then other people like to read things. It's why I always create my videos, and I also do a written blog post of it as well. That's just the way I like to work, and that's probably down to a little bit of personal preference. There's a full breakdown of all of the exercises. Again, all of the exercises, there was no voiceover on them, so they had the video, and then there was a little tip coming up on how to maintain good form and to get the best out of that movement. Again, I'm not sure that I wanted to watch the videos. They were only short, like 1 minute long, but sometimes it was a bit frustrating. Just wanted to just have like really quick access to it. And there is a PDF in there, so I downloaded the PDF. I knew what most of the exercises were, as I'm not new to lifting, but it's really important, I think, for beginners to really go through all of this, and that could be a little bit time consuming. There's no kind of like quick cues put in there in written format, but again, this is just personal preference. Mainly aimed really for commercial gym. I've just got a home gym with some base equipment. I've got a squat rack, I've got a chin-up bar, I've got the basis to be able to do this. I didn't have any cable machines, so I did have to make some adaptations with that, but there's definitely a lot that you can do with a home setup, and they do give you options for working out at home if you've only got dumbbells available. I really love that they were full body workout. You're not having to do a split of different body parts. I think for people that are time short, then this is a really great way to structure a training program. It makes it accessible for a lot of people, and only having 2 full body strength training sessions, again, that accessibility, most people can create the time to do that. Having completed this, I bought this mid-November. We are now mid-February. It is supposed to be a 12-week program. I had Christmas in between that. I had a week where I was traveling. I had a week where I was ill. So it has taken me a little bit longer to get through the entire program, but I'm definitely feeling the benefit of the strength gains. I am feeling so much stronger. My arms are feeling a lot more toned and defined. When I go out on the scales, I should have done my measurements before this. I didn't do my measurements, but I'm going to show you before and after on the video. And actually, when I'm looking at this, there doesn't seem to be like a huge difference, but I know that I can feel it in my body. I'm feeling tighter, I'm feeling stronger. I've got my notebook where I've been writing everything down, and all of my lifts have increased. I've taken my chin-ups where I was doing only be able to do about 3, and I've got back up to 7, and I'm really proud of that. There's not a huge difference in my body composition, and this is kind of when I'm going to get to on the pros and cons of this. Although there are definitely increases in muscle mass on my body because I can feel it, I'm not going to have massive amounts of fat reduction without making changes and shifts to your diet. That's where fat loss comes, and a lot of people get tripped up on that. They think it's all about the workout, but really the workout and the nutrition go hand in hand. And in fact, I would even go as far to say it's not the workout that's going to make you lose fat. That's more about improving your fitness and getting you strong and helping you to maintain fat loss on the other side. I do also have PCOS, which hormonal challenges and fluctuations do mean that it makes it harder for me to lose body fat without being a little bit more restrictive or really dialing in a lot closer with my diet. And I wasn't doing that. I was keeping pretty stable with my diet. I eat well most of the time, but I also like to have a drink or indulge in some delicious foods from time to time. That is how I want to live my life, and I'm very happy with my decision to do that. Now, MAPS Anabolic as a standalone program doesn't come with any nutrition, and as I've just said, it's a very important part of the body transformation process. And again, this is a personal preference, and I know me as a coach, whenever I'm delivering a workout information, it comes hand in hand with the nutrition. They actually sell the intuitive eating guide as a standalone product unless it's in with the bundle, and I think this is really like a disservice. I do think that intuitive eating guide, which is really just a PDF, and yes, there's a ton of valuable information in there, I think it should just come as part of the program. You also don't get a warm-up as part of the program. The reasons for both of these is they say that it's too specific and that you need to have a real dialed specific warm-up relevant to where you have tightness or weaknesses or immobile in your body. But you could say that for any program. You could say that for the training program for itself, and I do think it's more of a business decision, which, you know, as a fellow fitness entrepreneur, I respect and I get. Key thing here is that if you are gonna get this program, I would definitely buy it as a bundle. I got MAPS Prime with this, which is a mobility program. It's going to help you to do those body assessments. Again, excellent program. And I think especially for beginners, there should be some sort of warm-up component. Even if it is a very generalized warm-up component, it's going to be better than a beginner coming in and doing no warm-up at all. But if you're going to do it, get it as a bundle, get it where you get MAPS Prime in with it and integrate as part of that as your training, I think is key. As well as aligning with nutrition changes. And that's where you're going to see the real benefit and transformation that I do believe that this program can come with. I did notice when I came to the end, there's kind of like, no, what's next? Where do we go from here? I know for me as a coach, I'm going to shift up my training again and go in a slightly different direction. I feel like I've got this really solid foundation of strength. I now want to translate that into more fitness and more endurance, as I am going a little bit more now into triathlon training. So I know where my training's heading and directing to really phase my training to help keeping continual natural progressions, but I want to maintain and sustain the strength that I have developed on this program. And the great thing about this is I could circle back round to the beginning, do this all again, and then take it to the next level. I think it would be beneficial to have some sort of like what is next to really guide people about the next best program. Although I'm feeling super strong from this program, I'm not feeling particularly fit. I did find when I was going up the mountain the other day that I was like huffing and puffing. I'm thinking, gosh, I'm not feeling as aerobically fit as I know that I would like to be, and especially now going in towards training for a triathlon, that's going to be a key component that I need to build in. Some other things that I really found with the plan, I do feel like it was very upper body focused. There's a lot of shoulders, there's a lot of back, there is a hell of a lot of biceps and triceps. And actually in the winter season I didn't mind this at all, because I am snowboarding, I'm out on the mountain a lot, and I really appreciated my legs not being completely dead. However, in my normal training, when I'm not on a snowboard all of the time, I would like to have more work in my legs. I definitely would have liked to see more volume on the legs to create more definition and shape in my legs, because I really don't feel like my legs have changed at all. I do feel like it's slightly more focused towards men, although women are going to get a benefit from it. There's also certain exercises that I just don't feel that were really necessary or what I would want to see. So there's a lot of shoulder shrugs coming in, so you're going to be getting development on the traps, on the shoulder. I've never ever had a woman come to me and be like, I want to have, you know, a bit of a thicker neck and better looking traps. There was quite high volume on the shoulder shrugs, and although it's not aesthetically a look that I want to go for, I must admit that I am someone who can sometimes suffer with a little bit of neck pain and spend a lot of time at my desk. That neck pain seems to have disappeared, and I do feel like my posture's really opened up. So I'm not dissing the shoulder shrugs and the trap work. I've definitely got some benefit from it. There was just a lot of volume of traps compared to some of the other exercises. The other exercise that there was a lot of volume on was calf raises. I'm like, what's with all the freaking calf raises? Is it a man thing to have like really profound calf muscles? I live in the mountains. I'm walking up hills every day. My calves do not need any more development. Yes, strong calves are important for good, solid ankle mobility and strength when you're doing things like go. I do not want my calves to be any bigger, so I did cut some of the volume on that. There's also a lot of volume on abs and sit-ups, like up to 100 reps. Like, geez, I didn't have time to go up that far in my reps for the abs, so I did modify some of that and did more hanging leg raises. And then the final thing, I did feel that program was lacking in functionality. Again, this comes to my personal preference and the way that I know that I like to train my body. So you've got squats, you've got bicep curls, you've got shoulder press. It is all on this sagittal plane, like up, down, front, back. There is no lateral movements, there was no rotational or directional movements. And I come to this, and you know, this program is a muscle building program, so it does what it says on the tin, and that's more of a matter of programming. And maybe something like their MAPS Performance is going to be more geared towards that functionality of strength training. But I personally like to have a functional strength training program rather than more of an aesthetic. So it's built for aesthetics to help your muscles develop and look a certain way rather than being able to function for life. Personally, that's an important element for me and something that I'm looking forward to adding back into my workouts. So did we like it? Hell yes, it is a solid science-backed program. It is programmed wonderfully. It does a great job. It does what it says on the training. It's going to help you to build muscle. It is going to help you to get stronger. It is going to help to develop good posture, good physique, to help to boost your metabolism so that you are primed for fat burning when you apply the nutrition. If you have the nutrition to go hand in hand with it, you get lifetime access to this. And I think it's great for a wide range of fitness levels, even people that are beginning to come into it. The only cons that I didn't like about it was the lack of warm-up. I think it should come hand in hand as a standalone program with nutritional guidance. It feels a little bit more male and upper body focused for my own personal taste, and lacks that functionality. And just little things like there's no way to track your workouts within the app. For me, that's not a problem. I'm a pen and paper girl. I like to write things down, so I'm quite happy with a notebook, but I know that some digital people like to do everything digital. All in all, would I recommend the program? Hell yes, you're going to get a ton of benefit. These guys know what they're talking about, unlike some people. V-Shred. I'll put the link to my V-Shred review if you haven't already seen that one. These guys say it as it is. They know their stuff, and it's a really solid science-backed program that I would highly recommend for anybody who's looking at developing strength and making changes with their body. And although you might not be able to see massive changes on my before and after, I personally can feel them, and I actually feel like if I was to go into a phase of being in a cut and to really dial down on my nutrition and get into that calorie deficit, I feel like my body is like now really primed to be able to burn fat more effectively. So it gets a massive thumbs up from me. If you've been thinking about it, if you've got the money, invest in it. Definitely get a bundle if you can. I think it was a great program, and I'd like to maybe do some more of them in the future, maybe try out the MAPS Performance, but we will see. If you have any other programs that you would like me to test out to give you my review to see if it's worth you spending your money on, so I'll do it so you don't have to, and I'll always give you my complete and honest review on that.